slightly different, hopefully more positive aspect for you to think about this afternoon. I'm a magistrate in Greater Manchester. I've been a magistrate now for 13 years, and I was appointed to bench at Trafford, where I sat until the court closed 3 years ago. For the last 10 years, I have been in charge of what's called the Magistrates in the Community Project, which is a project run by the Magistrates Association. And the aim is to demystify the magistracy, to educate people about who magistrates are, what we do, how we work, and to demystify the criminal justice system. And to that end, we go around, we give talks to schools, to colleges, to adults and community groups, to try and familiarise people with what magistrates actually do. And if I can just give you a brief outline, magistrates are members of your community. I was appointed to Trafford as a member of the community. I wanted to give something back to the community. I was asked, was I interested in becoming a magistrate? I went along, saw what it did. We, as a bench, which is a collective term for magistrates, we try to reflect all aspects of our community, ethnic, racial, things that people do. We've got people from taxi drivers to company directors who are all magistrates. We are volunteers, we have lots of training, but we all care about the community in which we live, which is why we do it. In the 10 years that I have been doing magistrates and community work, I've seen a huge change in the cases that are coming through the criminal courts. Since Trafford Court has closed, I no longer work in the criminal court. I am exclusively in the family court, which is not a criminal court, it's something completely different. But nevertheless, I have close ties with what's going on in the criminal courts, and every time we get sentencing guidelines, we receive those as well. So I'm very up to speed with what is going on. And I understand your concerns as a community as to how things are going. I live in Hale. We have had 3 burglaries in our road in the last 12 months. I've been a victim of crime myself, so I've got some understanding, of how everyone's feeling, how emotions high. Can I just reassure you, though, that all cases start in the Magistrates' Court. 95% of all criminal cases start and end in the Magistrates' Court. And that tells us that only 5% of crime is so serious that it makes the headlines and it goes to the Crown Court. Magistrates have got limited powers of sentencing. We can send someone to prison for up to 6 months. We give them a fine of £5,000. If when they appear in court we feel that the crime, the offence is so serious that it is going to merit more than that punishment, we send it to the Crown Court. I understand people's worries about sentencing, whether sentences are harsh enough. Sentences are set by the Sentencing Guidelines Council. We used to have a big folder with all the sentences for the various offences, and we have to follow those guidelines. They're guidelines, not tramlines, and we're allowed to go more serious or less serious the offence. But we do have to follow those guidelines, and those guidelines are constantly being updated and looked at by the Sentencing Guidelines Council. What I urge you all to do when you read something in the paper that says the victim walked free from court, that is frequently something that's said when someone has not received a custodial sentence, but they've received a community sentence. Believe me, some of these community sentences are a lot harsher than sending someone to prison for 3 months. In fact, I have had someone in court who said to me, I'd rather go to prison than do the community sentence because it's much tougher. They have to turn up at Stretford Probation Service for 8:30 in the morning. And some of these people have never seen 8:30 in the morning for a very long time. And if they're late, they get sent away and they will have to come back. We can put programs in place for them to address their alcohol issues, their drugs, issues, anger management issues. So community sentences are not something that they walk free from court. They're far from it. They're onerous. People don't like them because they actually have to put some work into doing them. And generally, they are a good deterrent from reoffending. No guarantees about reoffending. So if I can just put you right about those sentences. Also, a general rule on what you read in the papers, because unless you are in court and you heard the evidence, you cannot possibly make a judgment.
Right.
Education going into schools, that has changed. When we started, we were going to the year sixes, we talked to them about shoplifting, about assaults, about this, that and the other. Now we're talking to them about knife crime. We're talking to them about sexting. We're talking to them about cyberbullying. The whole issue has changed. I'm immensely proud that 2 days ago I managed to pull off something which I'm so proud of. Got a theatre company from Birmingham actually to come. I saw them on Channel 4 News. They were giving a production about a knife crime incident that happened in a school. We put them into a school in Walkden. They gave presentations to year 7s, years 8s, 9s and 10s. Over 900 pupils received that very powerful presentation. And if just 1 or 2 of those 900 take notice of the fact that carrying a knife is not a good idea, it's not cool, it's not for your own protection, we have to get that message across to them. Because every kitchen in every corner of the land has got a knife in the drawer. They're the easiest things to get hold of. We have to get through to children. It is not cool, and they are not carrying it for their own protection. It doesn't work like that. Can I also just finally say to you, if you are a victim of crime, there is such a thing called a victim impact statement that you can make. And victim impact statements can be read out in court, and that could affect the sentencing, albeit in a magistrate's court or the Crown Court. So if you feel passionately, if you are able to put your thoughts on paper, tell the police that you would like the CPS, that you'd like to make a victim impact statement. Believe me, it will be heard, it will be taken into consideration. I have brought some leaflets about Magistrates in the Community project with me. Please help yourself. If you'd like us to come and speak to your group, your school, if you're a teacher and you want us to come into schools to talk to the children, gladly do so. That's what we're here for. And thank you very much for inviting me today.